What's up everybody, I'm Jesse Showalter, and in this episode, I wanna share with you 5 things in this office that I use every single day and make my life as a designer better, more efficient, and funner. Listen, I know funner's not a word, and I don't care. I'm gonna use it anyways. All right, before we get started, I wanna say thank you to LG for sponsoring this video and giving me the opportunity to share some of my favorite gear with you. Well, first up on my list is a really simple item, but it's something I couldn't live without, and that is a whiteboard and an erasable marker. I have a couple of these actually on the walls around my office, and I have this little guy, which I tend to use quite often if I'm wireframing or concepting or trying to come up with ideas. It's so nice to be able to do that right here and not have to open up a piece of software or pen and paper. I can just flow really quickly and easily on something like this, and for me, it's imperative just to let my thought process flow rapidly and iterate and concept. And so this thing is like, I don't know, like $5 or $10 online, and I couldn't live without it. So that's the first thing, it's a whiteboard. I shouldn't have thrown it. Next up is a new one for me. I just recently got these, and I can't live without them now, and that is my Apple AirPods. They're just such a simple little device, but whether I'm going out and working at a coffee shop or staying in and taking calls, these things are perfect for meetings or just zoning out and like getting away from it all. Am I talking louder? It's because there's music playing. They're easy to connect to my phone because I have an iPhone, and the battery life on them is really good. I know that they just recently came out with the AirPod Pros, but I don't need to make the upgrade. These are still good for me, and I really like them a lot. All right, next up is a fairly obvious one, but that's my computer, and it's something that I use every single day, and it helps me get my job done a lot easier than if I didn't have one, or if I had something else besides this. This is by no means an Apple versus PC conversation. I think use what works for you. For me, this is what works for me. And what works for me is a 2018 Apple MacBook Pro, the 15-inch version, that's fairly decked out on the specs. I do have problems from time to time if I run heavy programs like After Effects or Premiere Pro, and I'm running really heavy footage. It can slow down, make a lot of noise. Obviously, it's not the most heavy-duty workstation, but for the most part, I do a lot of user interface design, UX design, and graphic design. And so this handles everything I need it to handle, and it does for me pretty much everything I need it to do. I like that it's light, it's compact, it's a laptop. I can slip it in a bag and go if I need to. I can set it up here on this rain stand and have it as a second monitor if I need to. So it's versatile, it's powerful, it ticks all the boxes for me. Do I wish that it didn't cost so much and that it had a little bit more power? Absolutely. My last selection was my laptop, which is absolutely great, but it is rocking that little 15-inch screen, which you tend to get used to. It's totally fine. But once you've experienced this next thing, you kind of don't want to go back. And so that's why number 4 on my list is this monitor right behind me. This is the LG 34-inch 21:9 ultra-wide 5K, 2K nano display. That's a lot of words basically to say super duper amazing and awesome. It is legitimately 34 inches diagonal corner to corner. It has this super ultra fine bezel, so the majority of what you're seeing is screen. It's 21:9, that's super duper wide. Why it's called the ultra wide is because 16:9 is that cinematic movie widescreen look and feel that we all know and love. 21:9 is even more than that. It's an extensive amount of screen real estate to work on. It's really awesome. It's 5K, 2K, which I don't know exactly what that means, but it's very high resolution. I can say that for shoresies. And the reason I love this monitor is because it allows me to do so much at one time. Because the screen is so wide, I can multitask all on the same screen. I'm a big user of multiple windows and workspaces, but that can get a little bit jarring when you constantly have to go back and forth. With this, I can have code, I can have design, I can have GitHub, I can have everything open on the same screen and not have to dash back and forth between screens. This is an expensive piece of gear, but to me, it's worth it. It's worth paying a lot for things that are gonna drastically change your workflow and make you more productive and more efficient with what you do. This is that for me. It's amazing, especially for designers who wanna be able to see large amounts of design all at the same time without having to zoom way out. I get a clear picture, large scale of designs without having to do that, purely because of the amount of real estate that I have on the desk. It's a really nice design as well. It's got this really minimal base and stand that clicks right in, super simple. The monitor connects to my laptop with a Thunderbolt 3 cord and an 85-watt power delivery system, which basically means I need one cord to plug it in and get going. It has really rad on-screen controls that let you dial it into your liking and color preference. So just a lot of good things to say about the LG 34-inch ultra wide, but I love it, I love it, I love it. And that leads us to the last item on the list, and it is not some sort of expensive technological piece of equipment. It is actually just these glasses that are on my face. These are blue light blocking glasses, and they're super duper cheap. You can get them a lot of places. I'll put links down in the description. But the reason these are so big to me is because they are specifically designed for people who are staring at screens all day, every day, and that's me. So I stare at screens anywhere between 8 and 14 hours a day, and I also suffer from headaches and migraines really, really easily. And so I used to get migraines and headaches a lot looking at screens for that long, and these have drastically reduced the amount of those headaches that I get. They have a slight yellow tinge to them. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and they are just supposed to block the blue light that's coming into your eyes, which keeps you awake longer. It has all sorts of health issues. I have really, really good eyesight. These aren't prescription, but I wanna keep my eyesight, so I wear them all day when I'm on the computer, and it's a big help. So if you wear glasses, you should get new lenses with blue light in them. That's my recommendation. If you don't wear glasses but look at the screen all day, you should get a pair of these non-prescription blue light blocking glasses. I don't know what else to say. They help me a lot. They make my life better, and they look pretty snazzy, I think. Well, that's it. Those are 5 things in my office I use every single day that I couldn't live without as a designer. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and development and product reviews just like this one, so maybe stick around. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments section, and check the description for all the links of the items that I talked about today. You enjoy while you're doing your thing. I'll see you in the next one.